How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with a little bit of Homebrew Wednesday up in this piece in the form of a little bit of German-inspired pale lager, courtesy of my boy Will and my boy Dan. This is V1, 5.2%. A little bit of German jams. This is the second beer mail that these guys have sent me off. The first one actually contained a Pilsner and a hazy. I really enjoyed the Pilsner. I thought it was quite nice. The hazy did have a pretty decent amount of oxidation going on in it. So we'll see how these two come off. Hopefully the hazy portion of the show is a little bit better kind of vesseled, if you will. But that Pilsner was quite nice, and this definitely is the part of a pale lager. Light, crisp, clean. What you'd expect from a beer of that ilk. Very soft snow globy carbonation. I mean, that is clean and crisp and clear. It comes almost SRM level, like light beer, adjunct level light beer kind of SRM. Not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not trying to associate with that. It's brewed with old school kind of ingredients. I think there's Hallertau hops and Willimatau? I forget the name of that. The malt in it. So it's pretty much an OG style beer, but it has this super crisp, crispy boy, chuggable kind of look to it. So definitely looks the part of a nice little chugger. See if we can get a nose. Sweet maltiness. Sweet crisp maltiness. Like a grainy crackeriness with a soft little melon component in it. Nothing too aggressive, not that you expect an aggressiveness at that light of a beer, at that low of an ABV, but it has this malt-driven crispy crackerness with a little bit extra to it, almost like a multi-grain kind of cracker, but on a light version of that, with a soft little melon component done and done. It smells super light, super drinkable, super chuggable. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's nice. It actually has a heft to it. It still stays in a crispy realm, but it has a heft to it that kind of tricks you, because looking at how light this beer is, I expect it to be ultra light, but it has a little bit, a touch of heft to it as far as the body goes. As far as the flavor goes, it pretty much hits spot on to what the nose leads you to believe. That crackery, kind of slightly grainy malt definitely is at the forefront here. It is the start of the show. Almost like a slightly under-roasted kind of maltiness to it. Not in a negative way, but it doesn't come off super ultra crisp as far as like a toasty kind of crackeriness. That melon component isn't nearly as big as you thought it would be based off of the nose, or what I assumed it was going to be. Usually when I get a hit with this soft little melon on a lager, it kind of jumps out a little bit in the taste. On this, it's more of an under-ripened kind of melony fruit. So it's letting the cleanliness of the beer, the cleanness of the beer, and the malt kind of be the start of the show here, while adding a little bit of backup when it comes to that soft melon, and that bit of soft Hallertau kind of bittering to it. Done and done. Ultra clean, ultra well made. I mean, listen, the pills that you sent combined with this one are two of the better kind of lagered version of beer I've had as of late. Commercial otherwise, man. I mean, they're that well made, crisp, clean. They don't have this kind of wow factor that some of these, especially Americanized new school kind of beers go. But as far as kind of leaning into that kind of old world style, the old German kind of pale lager side of things, it's coming off true as true could be in a very, very tasty fashion. And that's the thing. The funny part is that the oxidation is not to harbor back or hanker back or whatever the word you want me to use back to the oxidized beer that was sent off. Is that should have been the easy one to complete. You know, that's this is the Hail Mary. You don't think about it, but it's a homebrew. You know, the crispy, well made, relatively if not no flawed kind of lager. That's the deep. That's the deep out, man. That's the hard throw to make. Football analogies. Why don't we do those? A big, juicy, hazy IPA that's relatively fresh. It's kind of a screen pass in a West Coast offense. It's relatively easy to complete. So the oxidation did you dirty, and the funny part is I think the harder beers are the ones that were really nailed so far. So I'm really excited to dive into that other one. This is probably going to go up tomorrow, because this is actually Tuesday before the next Wednesday, which would be the 17th of November, or February. Jesus Christ. This is what it's like to have a baby on the way. So this will probably go up And the following week, we'll probably see the hazy go up, and I'm really looking forward to that, dude. I very much am. I'm not going to wait until a while till I review it. I'll probably review it later in this week. But as far as this goes, it's up there with the other one, man. Really great stuff. Really snappy, really tasty. I like the way the malt kind of leads the way and how it just has this kind of density while at the same time staying crispy. It's really fun beer. Very tasty beer. Very appreciated beer. So there you go. A little bit of homebrew in the books. I'm trying to think of anything negative. I can't, dude. And, you know, with the way the oxidation came off in the other one, you know, it's not like I'm going to sit here and tell you, you know, not the truth. I just don't really see much, if anything, I would say negative about it. If I was really getting nitpicky, German-style pale lager, maybe a touch more kind of hop, just to bring it up a little bit. But I think that's more of a personal preference rather than the style kind of guideline. I think it's exactly where it should be. So maybe in a perfect world for me, just a extra dollop, just a little bit more kind of hot presence. But that's just me. Just wanting the beers to be the way I want them as opposed to what they should be. It's a really tasty beer. There you go. A little homebrew in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you're more than welcome to send homebrew off. massivebeers@gmail.com. beermassif@gmail.com. Yeah. Wait, Matt at massivebeers.com. massivebeers@gmail.com. That's what I said, right? Anyway. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of homebrew right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.